That's what we've got, Pure Energy. In fact, we have Tom Erickson, the CEO of the Energy and Environmental Research Center, to talk about the new State Energy Research Center, one of the success stories of this most recent North Dakota legislative session. Tom, welcome back. How are you?
Doing very good. Thank you for having me on.
You bet. Well, I think last time we talked, this was a possibility, and now it's the real deal. It's signed, sealed, and delivered. SB 2249 for folks that follow the legislature closely. Basically, what does this mean? Tell us a little bit about what this change will mean. This addition, these new dollars. What's going to happen with it?
Yeah. So the way the EERC operates is every day we're out chasing dollars. We serve the state of North Dakota by finding the dollars to help solve the problems that we're having. This allows us the opportunity, instead of chasing the dollars, to be able to chase new ideas that can make a significant impact to the state of North Dakota, to the industries in North Dakota, and at the end of the day, to the citizens of North Dakota. So it's our chance to dream, start to think outside the box, and come up with the technologies of the future.
So where's the low-hanging fruit, where you don't necessarily have to, as you say, chase the dollars, but rather chase the ideas? What's some stuff that the dollars are hard to come by, but it's worth digging into and could pay a big dividend in North Dakota?
Yeah, well, we have our researchers right now. They're putting together kind of little mini proposals within the organization. The excitement here is amazing because they haven't had this opportunity in a long time. But some things like right now we use coal to produce electrons. What about starting to think about using coal to produce other things like materials or things we've heard in the news recently, rare earth elements? We already do things like this at Dakota Gasification. Let's start to think about that differently. Thinking about how we can use energy storage to not only, we always think of energy storage as boosting renewables, but it actually has a great potential to boost fossil energy technologies as well and actually help fossil and renewables work better together, higher efficiency overall for the state. And then, of course, we got the great Bakken oil resource, but we know we only pull 6 to 10%. Can we come up with new ways, new understandings, new analytical techniques that allow us to get from, say, 6 to 7% or 8 to 9%? I mean, one incremental percent a year is $3 billion to the state of North Dakota's economy.
This is so important. I mean, there wouldn't be an iPhone without R&D, folks, right? There wouldn't be hydraulic fracturing combined with horizontal drilling to unearth this incredible resource, one of the biggest in the world in the Bakken Formation. I mean, R&D just comes back at us so many ways, kind of unseen, but very, very important years down the road. So it's certainly exciting time. There's no doubt about it. Is the dollars normally to chase something like this come from industry? Does it come from is the government funding not there to the extent it used to be? If you don't get it in an innovative idea like this from the state to have an energy research center for North Dakota, where else do you get it?
Yeah, that's the problem that we've run into. So these are brand new, innovative ideas, and usually industry's not there funding them until we have something concrete to work with. So it typically goes back to the federal government, and as you mentioned, the feds fund less and less of this. We used to see programs like this being very beneficial to the state of North Dakota that came through federal earmarks. But earmarks went away, and much of our ability to access federal dollars to do these sorts of things went away. So it's really exciting. It's exciting for me, but it's even more exciting for our researchers who have this opportunity to go back and start to explore brand new concepts and bring things forward.
Yeah, it is pretty amazing. Carbon capture is something we hear a lot more about. Also, storage, utilization. Once you capture it, what do you do with it? I was reading a piece in Axios today talking about capturing carbon. The emissions is probably unavoidable, their words, to address climate change, but the technology to do it is still in its infancy, expensive and not broadly understood. Would you agree with that statement? Is it in its infancy? Is this still a newborn baby, or is it a toddler yet, or is it reaching time for kindergartner? And I know the expense side is still there to get it to the commercial side, but what's your thought on their view of carbon capture?
Yeah, well, I don't know that I'd agree with the word infancy because, like you said, that means it's at a very early stage. It's certainly not ready for prime time yet. There's only been one full-scale demonstration in the U.S. at this point in time, and we hope to see the new one here with Project Tundra, located right here in North Dakota. So it's getting closer and closer to being applicable to commercial applications, but it's got a ways to go, and every power plant and every application is different. So even once you get it running on one, you're going to need to have a number of them before I would ever consider it to be ready for prime time.
I just think in North Dakota's case, capturing CO2, which changes the energy generation business, right, the electricity side, and then the benefit to enhancing oil recovery on the other side of the fossil fuel equation. That's sort of what is just a rich combo for North Dakota, isn't it?
It's just ideal, and if anything, North Dakota's CO2 poor at this point in time, and so coupling those two with the other financial incentives that currently exist through federal programs gives us the opportunity to be an early adopter of the technology once we prove it out. Once an early adopter will just put us in a great position for many things.
It's fascinating. It really is. And it's just another reason that the research is so important, because this world is changing a lot. And honestly, a lot of this has been going on for a long time in North Dakota. But it's something you're going to be hearing about at the upcoming presidential campaign. Everybody's got a different idea of how to do it. And it's nice to know been there, done that when it comes to UND. And also kudos to the legislature, Governor Burgum and others for this State Energy Research Center at the Energy and Environmental Research Center, because now they don't have to spend as much time, hat in hand and have the bucks and go out there and actually do the research. So fascinating. Tom, thanks for the update. Appreciate it as always.
Great. Thank you very much.
Tom Erickson is the CEO of the Energy and Environmental Research Center right next to the University of North Dakota.